So it's been 2 years since Apple released the iPhone 13 Pro, and is considered one of the best smartphones on the market. With its ProMotion display, robust camera system, and even stellar battery life, I'm going to be taking a closer look at the iPhone 13 has held up over 2 years. Now, the iPhone 13 was the first ever iPhone to introduce ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate. This is going to allow for smoother scrolling and more responsive touch interactions. And I'm just going to be honest, it is not worth going back to an iPhone with a 60Hz panel. Now, the design of the 13 is, well, it's still modern. Apple is still utilizing this design to this day. A stainless steel frame with a frosted glass back. This is still gonna feel like the newer iPhones. Although Apple is planning on switching to titanium with the iPhone 15 Pro series, and potentially with the regular iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, they could very well incorporate the frosted glass back while keeping the frame aluminum. I still like the frosted glass back. It feels very nice in the hands. The stainless steel is still a fingerprint magnet. The Sierra Blue is still a beautiful looking color, but the Alpine green color is still the best color though. Although the iPhone 13 has a notch, it has shrunk by 20% compared to its predecessor, the iPhone 12, and even the iPhone 10, which was the first iPhone to introduce Face ID. RIP to the iPhone 10, it may not even get iOS 17. The A15 Bionic chip is what's powering the iPhone 13 Pro, and 2 years later, this is still considered the most powerful smartphone to this day. In fact, it's so good, in fact, that Apple is still utilizing the A15 chip on the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that just shows you on how ahead Apple is when it comes down to the chipset, with no signs of slowing down, not one bit. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again, Apple is focusing on efficiency over speed. Think about it, during the keynote, Apple compared the A16 chip to the A14 chip. Efficiency is so much more important than speed, because you gotta ask yourself, is the phone gonna heat up? Is the screen gonna dim out? Which, yes, the iPhone 13 dims out the screen. If it's in direct sunlight, if it's really hot, it's gonna dim, but that's what Apple is focusing on, how to make the chipset even more efficient rather than the speed being a little bit faster, a tad faster, but nothing too significant. But the A15 chip was such a significant upgrade opposed to the A14 chip on the iPhone 12. And by the way, if you guys want to purchase my wallpaper pack, I throw a link in the description. It'll look amazing with your iPhone 13. The cameras. Apple went all out on this one. First and foremost, the camera quality is impeccable. It's giving you DSLR-like quality for both video and pictures. This was the first iPhone to have macro mode, so you could be able to get really close into a substance, getting that fantastic detail very close. And the pictures here speak for themselves. The macro mode adds another layer of creativity with the iPhone 13, and the iPhone 14 has it too, but the iPhone 13 did it first. And it doesn't even stop there. For my professional photographers out there, you have Apple Pro Raw. This is gonna allow you to capture photos in a format that provides more editing flexibility. You know who you are, for real. And you're getting all that. You're getting all that with a 12 megapixel camera. Now, there's no denying that the iPhone is king when it comes down to video recording. You have cinematic mode, where it's gonna allow the user to create professional looking videos with a shadow depth of field. Very similar to this video where the background is blurred a little bit, focusing on me. And I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't use this feature a lot. I only used it one time to test it out, but looking at the end result with cinematic mode, it looks like it was shot on a high-end camera, but it's not exactly like a high-end camera. A high-end camera is always gonna triumph the iPhone, but it's getting closer. And then you have Apple ProRes, which is gonna give you high quality video fidelity, which means you're getting low compression, but this is gonna equal out to be massive file sizes. But looking at them, it's not even worth it. ProRes is cool, but it's not necessary. When recording video, audio is one of the most critical aspects for any content creation. The Anker M650 microphone is a reliable, versatile microphone. You just open up the case, put on the mic, and you're good to go. You can attach the microphone magnetically or use the clip. You can swap out between 3 colorful covers. And in terms of the microphone quality, the M650 does not disappoint. As a matter of fact, throughout this entire video, I've been using this microphone to record. And for those noisy environments, no fear, the Ankerwork Voice Shield technology is here. Record confidently with natural, low, high settings. By the way, I have some music playing on my speakers right now with the fan on max. And with the inclusion of the wind muff, and with the inclusion of 2 mics, you can bring a friend along and have them a part of the video. You can record 2 sound sources at the same time. No matter where the camera is located, you don't have to sacrifice audio quality. You have up to 656 feet. And the transmitter itself has a high quality LCD display. This is compatible for iPhone, Android, even cameras. Thank you Ankerwork by Anker for sponsoring a portion of this video. And I must add that if you're getting 128 gigabytes, you only limit it to 1080p Apple ProRes. But if you get in a 256 gigabyte or higher iPhone 13 Pro, you can record 4K at 30 frames per second. Since we're on the subject of storage, this is 256 gigabytes. I would say that if you're planning on taking a lot of videos or photos or even a lot of apps, I would recommend at least 256 gigabytes or higher. And 128 is gonna fill up very quickly. By the time you turn around, you're gonna need to delete photos or you're gonna need to back it up. And with the iPhone, it's known for its longevity, getting years of iOS software updates and its build quality holding up throughout the years. You may wanna get a storage to compensate the years. All right, now during this review, everything else is pretty much good. But what about the battery life? The battery life is one of the most important things to nail. You can have an amazing display, amazing speakers, which the speakers on the iPhone 13 are phenomenal. Everything else is good, but if the battery life sucks, then all that stuff kind of goes out the window. I would say the iPhone 13 Pro battery life will last you all day. Now, according to Apple, the iPhone 13 Pro can last up to 22 hours with regular use. Now, of course, I put this to the test during my iPhone 13 battery drain test. I would say it lasts me all day with maybe about 10% battery life to spare. The Pro Max model came out on top. No surprise here. The Pro Max has a bigger battery, bigger screen, but you gotta make a decision because the iPhone 13 Pro, the regular one, some will say that this is easier to hold in the hand than the Pro Max model. But is it worth sacrificing battery life? But the iPhone 13 battery life is great. It's great, but it's not excellent. But I would say this is significantly better than the iPhone 12's battery life, which I was not a fan of at all. The battery life on that thing was pretty, it was not good. The Pro Max is the one to get if you want the best battery life on the iPhone 13 series. Now, currently my battery health is at 88%. So once this number keep on going down and down, that means your battery is gonna die a lot faster. So you may want to keep an eye on the battery health if you're buying it second-handed. 2 years after its launch, the iPhone 13 Pro continues to be one of the best smartphones available through retailer. From its advanced camera system to the ProMotion to the powerful A15 Bionic chip, it is a top-tier smartphone in 2023 still. I highly recommend the iPhone 13 if you're looking forward to buying it this year. I'll even argue for the next 5 years, this will still be an amazing iPhone to get. Comment down below what's your current phone now. And other than that, I hope you guys all have a simple day.